Number 141 in your classwork for transformations of sine and cosine, we have a function of cosine, and we want to state the amplitude, period, phase shift, and vertical shift for the function. So the amplitude is going to be given by the leading coefficient out here in front of the trig function, so that's amplitude of 2. Our period p is given by 2 pi over b, where b is the coefficient out in front of this x, so that's just 1. So this is 2 pi over 1, which is just 2 pi. Our phase shift will be the term added inside the parentheses for x. So that'll be a phase shift, I'll call that phi, of negative pi over 3. And we have a vertical shift, this plus k term, this constant term outside of everything. That'll be let's call that k, and that'll be just plus 1. So now if we want to graph this function by hand, we can say that our origin now is moved from, if this was cosine, our cosine function would have normally started here at its maximum at 1, but we move this maximum 1 up for the vertical shift, and also to the left by pi over 3. So now our function will start at this value over here, and we also recognize that we have a scale factor of 2, so we're also going to have to move it accordingly to that as well. So it's actually going to start now at negative pi over 3, comma 3. So if we plug in negative pi over 3 as our x into the function, then we'll get 3 as our output. So now we can go ahead and plug in more points. So let's plug in the point pi over 2 minus pi over 3. So that'll be somewhere here along the x-axis. And this will give us a value of cosine of pi over 2, which we know is equal to 0. So that'll be 2 times 0 plus 1, which will be 1. Now we're going to go and plug in pi minus pi over 3. So that'll be cosine of pi, which is negative 1 times 2, which is negative 2, plus 1 is negative 1. So we're going to go over here for our next point. And then repeating this for 3 pi over 2 minus pi over 3. And then 2 pi minus pi over 3. We'll get a value back up. Actually, it'll be closer to here. So that'll be back at 3. So now we can go ahead and combine all these points. And that would be one cycle of our function.